I think we need to take some more time to assess what exactly happened and what determined this election outcome. But we are talking about whether the coalition governments are better, or governments with single largest party or the single party domination is better. But I think there are a mixed kind of outcome that we have seen in the past 30 years. I completely agree with the previous speakers. Both, in fact, they have some positive points. If you look at post 1990s, I think we have seen mostly coalition governments, and we have certainly seen a significant reforms happen. And right now, we are one of the largest, fastest growing large economy. I think we need to give credit to all the governments that have there since 1990s. And as Professor Tendulkar said very clearly, Suresh Tendulkar, when he wrote his book on understanding reforms, he said that we followed a path of where a two-step forward and one step backward. So I think still we are moving ahead with a kind of progress that we have seen in the last 30 years. If you talk about whether the coalition governments are better, but I think it depends on the nature of the coalition and the extent of coalition. Okay. Now, if you talk about UPA 1 and UPA 2, we might say that UPA 1 was much better compared to UPA 2 because of the kind of thing that I know Mr. Garg is going to speak about it. But I think if you look at the UPA 2, certainly it was anybody will say that nothing happened in the UPA 2. When it comes to the last 10 years, I agree with Dr. Mahajan. There are many things that happened. Yes, the ideas were old. I mean, ideas were continuation. In fact, all these reforms have been written in 1990s. Some low-hanging fruits have been achieved in the past, but there are very tough reforms that were needed, and it happened only in the last 10 years. We talked about financial inclusion for almost 60, 70 years. Right? I think those who work on the banking sector, I'm sure they know it. Every government come out with and say that financial inclusion and all. I mean, RBI keep on talking about it. But I think with one scheme, the Jan-Dhan Yojana, we have seen a transformative change in the way the banking sector has actually penetrated to the rural areas. There are numbers. I mean, you can. I mean, these are all. You have support for all those arguments, and I think that is one thing that really helped in one actually important character of the last 10 years is that we had policies, but I think the way it has been implemented, I think that credit should go to the government. And of course, they are called NDA governments, although it has been perceived as BJP government, but I think they are also NDA governments.